Boers and Bernstein.
Boers and Bernstein.
At it again.
Afternoons on the Score.
Speaking of baseball abstract, here's a great baseball factoid.
All right.
How many people do you think attended Ty Cobb's funeral?
2.
4.
That is so sad.
Ronnie Woo Woo, Regina Rice.
I don't know. Regina Rice. They're looking for her cut.
Yeah, Ty was not a not a well-liked guy.
Ty Cobb wanted to play. None of us could stand a son of a bitch when we were alive, so we told him to stick it.
He went out of his way to alienate everybody.
Who the hell are the 4 that go to his funeral? Because he was one of the most evil guys to ever play.
Genuinely, not just sort of irascible or difficult.
No, evil.
In the 5th grade, he beat up a fat boy whose error had let the girls' team win a spelling bee.
Horrible
guy.
human being.
Yep.
One day, when a black groundskeeper tried to shake his hand, Cobb slapped him, chased him into the dugout, then tried to strangle the man's wife when she came to his aid.
Cobb was, Shirley Povich once wrote, a vicious, demonic fiend who took to the ball field every day with blood, not his own, in his eye.
He's a cancer. He's a selfish individual.
When he died, 4 people attended the funeral. And yet, hate them as they did, teammates wanted Cobb in the lineup.
One sports writer said he would climb a mountain to punch an echo.
Well, because he was kind of good.
Baseball is a red-blooded sport for red-blooded men. It's no pink tea. And mollycoddles had better stay out.
Boers and Bernstein.
I don't know.
Chicago Sports Radio 670.
Great.
The Score.
303 Boers and Bernstein. Chicago Sports Radio 670. The Score. Yeah, Ty Cobb. That's just great. That's just great. Because, he's always that guy, too, that a lot of people use when you talk about these contemporary players going in the Hall of Fame that are just awful human beings. And the name that always comes up is, well, what about Ty Cobb? Mm-hmm. Well, that's true, because he was an original inductee and just all that and more. There's no question. And don't forget, did he not beat a man to death as well?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the guy had no hands, too. Right?
It's correct. He had no hands.
The guy that he beat to death had no hands. So
right. He wouldn't clap for him.
I was going to say, he chose a pretty solid matchup then. I mean, that's...
Yeah, if you're going to beat a guy to death, you must...
Right. Makes it easier.
It's like the guy you beat up at the movie theater, right? With no arms?
Well, that was the one-armed man.
Oh, he had one arm.
No, that guy kicked the crap out of this dude.
Oh.
That would have
been... I thought you fought a guy with no arms.
No, we didn't fight. That was at Seabiscuit. That was at Seabiscuit at the Davis Theater when the one-armed man would not stop in a normal conversational voice in the theater explaining everything that was going on to his mail-order Russian bride. That's a horse, and that horse is a racehorse.
And the horse that rode in on that.
Now, is it true that you went outside of the theater and found like a theater employee and like you go in there, you find that one-armed man?
You find that one-armed man.
Well, what color was his eyes?
we knew where he was.
Oh, you didn't need to find the one-armed man.
I
knew where the one-armed man was.
However, I then went, I sneaked into Cook County Hospital, and I found Jane Lynch, and she got me everything I needed to get the paperwork to narrow down the list to find out who it was.
So the theater was full of one-armed men.
Everybody in there, it was like, I didn't see the
you.
sign.
One-arm, half-off night.
Right. You pan out to the sign outside, and it says,
well, you could pay with your other arm.
Special one-armed
man. You give one arm
night
to get in for free to see.
Oh, my God.
And he said, I have to talk. My wife is not from this country. I have to tell her what's going on.
That's the sick monkey time. Did you mention that to him?
I said, my wife's from New Jersey. I should be...
Also
she's not from here either, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I should have to tell her what's going on.
Terry, ever have a one-armed monkey in the group?
I did not.
No,
they're all fine, and none of them. They all like a slice of Ty Cobb, though.
And they all hate the Grateful Dead.
They do. Well, I've made sure of that.
Hey, I was checking StubHub for you guys. There's a 3-day pass in section 143, which is just off to the right side of the stage. Mm-hmm. 3-day pass, one seat for $30,000 if you'd like it.
I think I'm going to get that.
I would pay that to not have to go if need be.
The fact that you could pay that just to not go
that shows he's a big stroker.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a big week for him, Maddie. This is a big week for him.
Fots?
Yeah.
The Dead. Who?
For Fots.
Oh, it is a real big week for Fots.
Yesterday, big birthday, and then more coming up this weekend. So Fots is rolling high.
Yeah.
He carries that with him these days.
I would just advise this: marry an event planner. It makes your life a lot easier. Because I could only imagine that not being the case. What she would actually be charging if we were hiring her to do all the stuff that she's doing. I would just say that's if you want to be able to sleep soundly and not worry about stuff, make sure your wife does this for a living. because you don't realize how lucky you are until it all comes home to your doorstep.
Comes
with some
home
of
to
this
roost.
Stuff. Comes home to roost, indeed.